Today is Sunday, April 26th. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today out of the Big Book, we're on Chapter 7, Working with Others. We'll be on page 102. Out of the 12 and 12, we are on Step 12. We'll read the rest of page 124. I think we read the first half yesterday. And of course, read the 24 hours a day and daily reflection. So with that, hope y'all are doing well this morning, my friends. I got to sleep in to like 5:30, 6 o'clock this morning. That's pretty good for me. But my cats have this horrible habit of jumping on us and starting to kind of claw the covers to wake me up. Because they know, usually around 3 or 3:30, I'm up and I get the coffee going, come into the garage, I leave the door open for them. So they can kind of sneak in, and they have to go in on their terms. And I'll pray, and then by the time I'm done praying, I shut the garage door because they're both already in there, and I get started with the podcast. So anyway, they knew we had to record today, and maybe that's my higher power's way of waking my hind end up. So with that, let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. All right, my friends. So if you recall from yesterday's reading out of the Big Book, we were talking about spiritual strength and how important it is that we have it. As a matter of fact, in the last 3 pages, they mentioned spiritual strength or spiritual, what did they say? Solid spiritual ground. And there was another one. I underlined it. There's something the matter with our spiritual status. So yeah, we can watch movies that have alcohol in them. We can go to parties that may be serving alcohol if we're on solid spiritual ground and we have a good reason for being there. I love the Eskimo geographic location. Even an Eskimo, if you try to go out in the middle of nowhere, might show up with a bottle of scotch. You just never know. So geographical cures don't seem to necessarily work for some of us. So we are on page 102. We're going to read the next 2 paragraphs, and tomorrow we will finish the chapter. Why sit with a long face in places where there is drinking, sighing about the good old days? If it is a happy occasion, try to increase the pleasure of those there. If a business occasion, go and attend to your business enthusiastically. If you are with a person who wants to eat in a bar, by all means, go. Let your friends know that they are not to change their habits on your account. At a proper time and place, explain to all your friends why alcohol disagrees with you. If you do this thoroughly, few people will ask you to drink. While you are drinking, you are withdrawing from life, little by little. Now you're getting back into the social life of this world. Don't start to withdraw again just because your friends drink liquor. Your job now is to be at the place where you may be of maximum helpfulness to others. So never hesitate to go anywhere if you can be helpful. You should not hesitate to visit the most sordid spot on earth on such an errand. Keep on the firing line of life with these motives, and God will keep you unharmed. Out of the 12 and 12, we're on Step 12. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we try to carry this message to alcoholics and practice these principles in all our affairs. And yesterday we left off with a beautiful line. We try to be humbly grateful and exert ourselves the more in a spirit of love and service. True leadership, we find, depends upon able example, not upon vain displays of power and glory. So I've always heard, the best lessons are often caught, not taught. Attraction rather than promotion. So we'll build on that idea by leading by service, by reading the rest of page 124, and we will finish this chapter tomorrow as well. Still more wonderful is the feeling that we do not have to be specifically distinguished among our fellows in order to be useful or profoundly happy. Not many of us can be leaders of prominence, nor do we wish to be. Service gladly rendered, obligations squarely met, troubles well accepted or solved with God's help. The knowledge that at home or in the world outside, we are partners in a common effort. The well-understood fact that in God's sight, all human beings are important. The proof that love freely given surely brings a full return. The certainty that we are no longer isolated and alone in self-constructed prisons. The surety that we need no longer be square pegs in round holes, but can fit and belong in God's scheme of things. These are the permanent and legitimate satisfactions of right living for which no amount of pomp and circumstance, no heap of material possessions could possibly be substitutes. True ambition is not what we thought it was. True ambition is the deep desire to live usefully and walk humbly under the grace of God. "24 hours a day, April 26th. AA Thought for the Day. The AA program is one of submission, release, and action. When we're drinking, we're submitting to a power greater than ourselves, liquor. Our own wills are no use against that power of liquor. One drink and we're sunk. In AA, we stop submitting to the power of liquor. Instead, we submit to a power also greater than ourselves, which we call God. Have I submitted myself to my higher power? Meditation for the day. Ceaseless activity is not God's plan for your life. Times of withdrawal for renewed strength are always necessary. Wait for the faintest tremor of fear and stop all work, everything, and rest before God until you're strong again. Deal in the same way with all tired feelings. Then you need rest of body and renewal of spirit force. St. Paul said, "I can do all things through him who strengthens me." This does not mean that you are to do all things and then rely on God to find strength. It means that you are to do the things you believe God wants you to do, and only then can you rely on his supply of power. Prayer for the day. I pray that God's Spirit will always guide me. I pray that I may learn how to rest and listen, as well as how to work. Daily Reflection, April 26th. Happiness is not the point. I don't think true happiness or unhappiness is the point. How do we meet the problems we face? How do we best learn from them and transmit what we have learned to others if they would receive the knowledge? As Bill sees it, page 306. In my search to be happy, I changed jobs, married and divorced, took geographical cures, and ran myself into debt, financially, emotionally, and spiritually. In AA, I'm learning to grow up. Instead of demanding that people, places, and things make me happy, I can ask God for self-acceptance. When a problem overwhelms me, AA's 12 steps will help me grow through the pain. The knowledge I gain can be a gift to others who suffer the same problem. As Bill said, when pain comes, we are expected to learn from it willingly and help others to learn. When happiness comes, we accept it as a gift and thank God for it. As Bill sees it, page 306. All right, my friends, that concludes today's reading, and oh my gosh, some rich stuff today. So the daily reflection real fast, talking about happiness, right? Happiness for me, it's temporary, right? But joy seems to have a lot more sustenance to it. I can still have joy even in a really hard circumstance. I can still choose gratitude in a really, really hard day, a character building day, right? I feel like that's joy. And when I do some things just so it'll make me happy, like I said, it's a fleeting emotion. But as it says here, instead of demanding that people, places, and things make me happy, I can ask God for self-acceptance. When a problem overwhelms me, AA's 12 steps will help me grow through the pain. And the knowledge I gain can be a gift to others who suffer the same problem. So what was once the pain in my life, I can use that, or rather God can use that pain that I felt. I can help others with it. Be like, hey, I've been where you're at. Here's what God did for me. Here's a spiritual kit of tools here, laid out before you. If you choose to use them, it might work for you too. And it gives me great joy to work with others, right? It's just beautiful. By working with others, as a byproduct, I feel joy. It's pretty amazing. And then the 24 hours a day talking about rest, that's beautiful too. You know, I know service work is, of course, so important for us. Definitely for me. But how can I be of service to anybody else if I am exhausted, worn down? I can't speak for anybody else, but like when I feel that way, whether it's hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, I have to watch it. Because I can snap at people or I can build resentments. And I am a recovering yes man, a recovering nice guy who said yes to everything at work and to everybody else, even if I didn't want to do that thing. And what would happen is over time, I'd get exhausted. And when the time came, I'm like, why did I sign up for this? Good grief. Then I get resentful, right? So I say all that to say this. Of course, service work is very important, and I try my best to say yes to every single scenario I'm ever asked of when it comes to recovery. But I also have to take care of myself first. I have to put the oxygen mask on myself first before I can put it on anybody else. Because I am of no use to anybody else if I'm hurting inside. So how do I do that? Well, I say no sometimes. Sometimes I have to say no to good things to say yes to the best things. So instead of signing up for that extra work obligation that's going to really make me look good, I go, no, I can't do that. And I either rest at the house, spend time with my family, or I hit a meeting, which for me is rest and exciting. Whatever it might be. I don't sign up for the millions of things I used to do. And I've always heard no is a complete sentence. Now, grammatically, I'm not sure if that's true, but I get the point. We don't have to explain ourselves. If we keep our priorities straight, that's our business. And then I love, real quick, I think it's either the Big Book or the 12 and 12. While you were drinking, you were drawing from life little by little. Now you're getting back in the social life of this world. Don't start to withdraw again just because your friends drink. I love this next line. Your job now is to be at a place where you can be of maximum helpfulness to others. So never hesitate to go anywhere if you can be helpful. I love that. Keep on the firing line of life with these motives. I love that, the firing line of life. And God will keep you unharmed. My higher power gives me rest. So I don't have to live under a rock. I can go if I can be useful to somebody else. And I think it's implying there that we're not just talking about useful to other alcoholics, although that's, of course, crucial. But I think that's talking about anybody in general. We're surrounded by people every day, or at least most of us are. We can be of use to them. And that's an opportunity to work the program, which is fundamental to our recovery. It's crazy. And then we get joy, just like I was talking about. The bottom line is that my higher power can work through all these things. And in the big book, talking about rest, God is a refuge and a very present help in times of need. A refuge. It's pretty great stuff. But my friends, I better hop off here. I hope you have a great day today. If you are sober, I hope you know that you're a miracle. And those who love you are very proud of you. And if you're not sober, I hope you know that you're a miracle as well, and you're worthy of recovery. And I just pray that you would get the help that you need today. It's a brand new opportunity today. We've been given another set of 24 hours. And as always, I don't speak on behalf of AA, NA, Al-Anon, any other sect. I am just a joyful drunk in this lifeboat of recovery, honored to be here today. And if we're given another set of 24 hours, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.